Man, welcome back to the Fake Stuff podcast. We are back at it again. Just doing what we do. That's talk fake football. We're getting into a little redraft talk right now. We're going to talk about some. Crapman's got his running back rankings set, and I'm going to yell at him a little bit, figure it out what I don't like about it. But Crapman, what's going on, big dog?
Oh, nothing much, man. I was just I did my running back rankings real early this year, and like you said, it's early running back rankings, so things can change as far as training camp and stuff goes. But these are, my first look at everything, and I did want to, because I know you haven't made yours yet, and we'll probably do an episode later this season. Going back and forth with our running backs and stuff, and I just man, it was really tough this year doing running backs. And you're going to kind of figure it out later on when you do yours, because there's a whole entire tier that I want to talk about today. That's like, I ain't never seen a tier this big of running backs that I couldn't figure out where to put them.
Yeah, one thing about like rankings and stuff is like when we play in our dynasty leagues, it really gets to a point where I'm looking at redraft rankings more than I am dynasty rankings. You know what I'm saying? Like, because if I'm going for it that year, I want these running backs that are in your top, 10 and ADP and all that stuff. Like, I'm not really even thinking about dynasty rankings as much. So early running back rankings, I'm all for it, and I got a lot of leagues. I'm trying to win it all this year, so I'm ready to dive in. And real quick though, don't be a hoe. Share the show. Me and Craft Man, we're gonna put a little quick one out there for us for y'all today. But Craft Man, anything we missing? Anything you want to add? Or you just dive on in?
I mean, we can dive in. I was just going to say, you haven't heard any of these yet.
No.
So it's gonna be kind of fresh, and I think it's gonna open your eyes a little bit to how maybe when you, like in our league, you can pick where you draft at. And I think that after you hear the running back rankings, if you're planning on building your team a certain way, you might want to choose a certain spot in the draft based on what might come back to you, say in the second round, because that's where this big, massive tier of running backs, in my opinion, which your opinion might be totally different, but we can go ahead and dive into it if you're ready.
Yep, go with it, Craft Man.
All right, so tier number one, Jahmyr Gibbs at number one, Bijan Robinson at number two. No problem, right there, right?
Right. I
All right,
mean, you could say Bijan, but I wouldn't care if you did or not.
who would you have ahead of the other if
Oh,
you
I'd go Gibbs this year, man.
had? Okay, so Gibbs, Bijan, one and two. Tier number two, there's only two running backs. Christian McCaffrey and James Cook are my tier two running backs. I won't get into some other names here in a minute, but there might be somebody you put over them guys. But my opinion,
Man,
you can't really count injury into McCaffrey's draft stock if he plays all year. Should be
right.
just fine.
CMC is just that little wild card running back every year. You either gonna win or come close to winning, or you gonna lose because you got him on your team. James Cook, though, I mean, I feel like I don't have too much of a problem with it, but I feel like some folks might. Um, but heck, I don't. I ain't got no problem with it, and I'm sitting here looking at the guys behind, like. I don't know, man. Just keep on going, Craft man. I'm ready to see what you got next.
This is the meat. This is the meat right here, Matt. And you're gonna have to figure this shit out on the fly, and that's gonna be tough to do because I sat here for 30 minutes, an hour, like just me and Noah were sitting there doing our rankings, and he's like, "I'm done." I was like, "How are you done with all these players right here?" Because I personally, I don't know how you draft. This is like a sidebar before we get going on these. Do you, when you draft and redraft, do you use tier based rankings, or do you rely on the mock drafts you've done, or how do you draft and redraft when it comes down to rankings?
I'm gonna say tier based rankings, but I'm also gonna say I'm in one main redraft league, and I just know my league, so I kind of adjust to how I think, or really to how I know things are going to go in that draft. You know what I'm saying? So tier
Yeah.
based and knowing your league.
But I mean, a couple of mock drafts show Levi was telling me, he's like, I never do mock drafts. I was like, yeah, that's why you finish in last every year. Like,
You got to
and
mock
people,
some.
his argument on that, and I want to hear your opinion. His argument is that a mock draft doesn't matter because when you get in a league with, your home league with different people who have different opinions, it ends up being nothing like the mock drafts that you've done against the computer or, even if you do it with other people on Yahoo or wherever where there's actually live people drafting. So I want to hear your opinion on that as far as mock drafts go. How much stock do you put into because there is a truth to what he says, but that's
No,
not the
easily.
reason I mock draft is the
Yeah,
thing.
yeah. No,
Um,
I do agree. Yeah, I do agree with what he's saying because when you mock draft, it really is nothing like what you do in a real draft. When you got 30 seconds or a minute or however short it is, man, I feel like you gotta know, you gotta mock draft to know like what the rankings are kind of like and where the value is like when you're
yeah,
drafting like
exactly.
because whenever like always like an average Joe's, we play with them guys, running back's gonna fly off no matter what. So it's like you're catching values with wide receivers. So my thing is like you want to know where those values are. So I'm not, man, you got to mock draft some, you know what I'm saying? But I'm not like the biggest mock drafter. Like I don't, if anything, I like the best ball a lot, you know what I'm saying? Because I know people got money on the line and it's just more than just like,
But people are drafting upside in best ball though. I mean,
yeah, that's true.
that's not always the way you win
True, but
redraft leagues.
my thing is like if I like to like when there's those times where we be on the phone, I'm mock drafting with like 3 or 4 real people. I feel like I take more out of that than just sitting by myself. You
Yeah,
know, but
but
either way, though,
I'll
I
be
agree with
lying.
what he's saying. But I do those mock drafts like crazy too. You know what I'm saying?
Whenever I do mock drafts with people that I play in the league with, I'm lying. I'm lying like
Hell
hell. I
yeah,
mean, I'll throw a couple sprinkles in there of people I'll actually draft, but when it gets to like the 6th, 7th, 8th round where I got like some guys that I like, it's like, why is this motherfucker picking Keon Coleman in the 7th round every time? I'm like,
hell
yeah,
yeah.
because I don't want you to know who I actually really
Well,
want. But
you
the
ain't
reason
told a lie yet.
reason I mock draft, truthfully, is to just find buckets like last year. First of all, I like to figure out, especially the first 2 rounds, what's
Yeah,
coming and what's coming back, and maybe even the 3rd round of like what I'm looking at, and then after that, I kind of just figure out buckets of players that I either want to be a part of or want to have nothing to do with. Like last year, I remember the 3rd round being a place where I was like, I don't want nothing to do with any of those receivers in this 3rd round. So, however, I have to build my team, a receiver is not coming to my team in the 3rd round because I don't want none of these guys. And I don't remember who was all in it. And I hadn't done a whole lot of mocks this year. I hadn't done any mocks this year, but that's the way I usually do it. Is like when it comes to 3rd, 4th round, 5th round, I'm like, I don't want to be in this. I don't want to be looking at this right here. So I want to
yeah,
be ahead of, I don't want to be looking at, like we were talking about the receivers and stuff. You just compare like ADPs of receivers and running backs, like in the 4th round. It's like, I don't want to be a part of Garrett Wilson and, the Chris Olave and whatever receivers are here when I'm
yeah,
looking at, these running backs, whatever, or vice versa. So that's
yeah.
kind
I
of
agree.
that's the reason I'm mock draft is I just don't want to be stuck in the draft, just like in a place that I don't want to be.
Yeah. No, I don't disagree. I mean, yeah, I'm with you.
And you got to build your team a certain way, so it's like you can't come off the bat and you don't want to go 4 receivers straight or nothing like that, or just draft the way you don't want to draft. So that's kind of why I mock, and that's why I tell Levi all the time. It's like if you don't mock enough, your ass is gonna be sitting in the draft looking at players that you don't fucking want, and you
Definitely got to mock a
ain't
little
no,
bit, man. Come on.
huh?
You definitely got to mock a little bit now. Come on, man.
You got to do
I
that.
I can understand. Like, I really understand what he's saying. It ain't nothing. Like,
Oh
it
yeah.
ain't the same. But it's like, come on, man. Do a few. Knock you out a few of them, big dog.
And when you play in the same league for a long time, you can almost predict what's going to make it to you.
Yeah, I agree too.
And
All
I'll
them
go
running back.
like on Sleeper, you can, if you do a mock, you can remove players and stuff too. Like if I see a player, if I see Malik Neighbors go at the 104, I just go ahead and click remove. Or I don't even draft players that I know ain't going to make it at that point in time. It's like, oh, well, if it happens in real life, it's automatic. I'm going to hit that player. But in this mock draft, I'm just going to assume that he ain't going to be here,
Yeah.
you know.
Yep,
But
I agree. I definitely do that.
yeah,
Definitely.
yeah. Well, this is the running back tier, Matt, that like I said, it might change where you want to draft at in your draft because if you are at the back of the second, this is just my opinion. If you're at the back of the second, you'll have a chance to get probably two of these guys back to back if you want to go two RB straight, which is a big strategy in our leagues anyway. But if you draft at the front, you can get one of the studs, like if you want to go McCaffrey or Gibbs or whatever, maybe one of these running backs. If you wanted to start off two RBs straight, that might be the way to go. But here we go. You're going to have to rank these on the fly. So at number 5, I got Chase Brown. At number 6, I got Henry, Hampton, Barkley. You writing these down?
Oh yeah.
Jonathan Taylor, Kenneth Walker, Devon Achane, and Ashton Genty.
All right.
There's
I see what.
there's eight running backs, and for your standpoint, we talked about ETN in the past episode. That might make 9 running backs in that same tier for you, unless there's somebody I missed out on. But I'll after we talk about these 9, because you're gonna have to rank these 9 on the fly. I'm gonna make you do it. And after these 9, I'll tell you the ones afterwards, and you can tell me, if you think they could slot into this tier of guys.
Okay, look, I think I would go Chase Brown, and then I might would slide. I see. My thing is I think I am high on A-Chain this year because I know his team's gonna be trash, but I think that's like part of it for me. Like, man, they got nobody. They didn't, and they just paid this guy, him and Malik Willis. I feel like they're gonna be
Yeah.
running the ball a whole lot more this year. So I feel like I'm kind of high on A-Chain, even though others might not be. So I would drop Henry a little bit, throw Chase Brown, A-Chain. I'd throw Hampton up in there, and then
Think about it.
I think I'd go Barkley, and then I think I'd go. I'd probably slide ETN up in there, up in that mix.
Okay.
And then I think I might would go maybe Genty, JT, and Kenneth Walker. Maybe. I think Kenneth. I'm lower on Kenneth Walker than everybody is this year. So I don't know if I
You
could
say a
repeat
lot of
that whole
maybes.
thing.
You say a lot of maybes in there.
Yeah. So
Let's just let's
real
just
quick,
go. Let's just start with the top. Let's go by twos. So who are your top 2 in that tier?
I'd go Brown and A-Chain,
All right. Who's your next 2?
Hampton, and I think I'm gonna do Hampton and Barkley.
All right. So I got Chase Brown, Henry, Hampton, Barkley. So we're pretty close. Except for I got Henry higher.
Yeah, I would go Henry next, then JT, then Genty, then Kenneth Walker.
Okay. So we're pretty close. The only reason that I put Genty and Achan in my rankings that low, and this is the only reason. I promised myself a couple years ago to not draft running backs on bad teams in the first round.
Yeah.
And that's really the only reason. And I've missed out on Achan the past couple years, and he's been great. But I remember Genty, last year he was RB13. He was fine. But I got a wound from drafting Josh Jacobs when he was in his prime with the Raiders. The year he had a really good year the year before and was actually a super value. He was like 4th round pick.
Right.
Did really well. But then I drafted him in the first round the year after, and that shit didn't work out. And I was like, man, Jacobs was in his prime.
Yeah.
The Raiders were a bad team, and that's the only reason I got Genty that late, because I could definitely see, like, if you're talking about just overall uh, targets and carries and overall touches for a running back, Genty could lead the way out of all these guys. And in Achan, he's done it with a bad team for 2 straight years. So, and he just got paid a shit ton of money. And I think Achan is just as good as, or very close to just as good as Jahmyr Gibbs as far as talent wise. But
I agree.
I can't do it. It's just a strategy that I live by, and I just ain't gonna. I guess I just ain't gonna change it. That's the only reason I got him that low.
Yeah. Yeah. Nah. I mean, I'm with you. I don't know. I feel pretty good about A-Chain this year, so I'm with you though. But Henry, I just think we kind of had a little ups and downs with him last year. So I feel like
Hampton's a wild card too. Hampton is more of
super wild card. I'm kind of high on him too. I had him up there pretty high myself. Um, so yeah, and then I feel like Barkley. He had his up and downs last year too, but I also think Philly is going to get more into running it more than. I mean, I feel like they was throwing it a lot last year and losing. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like they're going to get back to let's run a little more and win. You know what I mean? So I
yeah.
don't really have no fears of Barkley. And then
What do you
Jake's.
why I mean, me and you both, but I figured I'd have a little pushback at having Chase Brown at 5. Is there a
Nah, man. I mean, I've been on that. I mean, heck, I know I traded him for CMC last year, but
reason
Chase
I
Brown
was
always does good, man.
the reason I was looking at him was just looking at his statistics from last year and just the fact that he played with 3 different quarterbacks all year.
Right.
And I mean, he had 1,000 yards, 1,019 rushing yards, 6 touchdowns. I mean, that seems replicable again,
Yeah.
don't you think?
Yeah,
Maybe
he can do
more.
that again. I mean, I feel like he could be better. I know it's crazy to say, but yeah.
And then the receiving, 69 receptions, 430 yards. I think he could go more than that yards wise. And 5 touchdowns. So he had 11 total touchdowns last year and about 1,500 total yards. And he finished as a RB8. So I kind of feel like, I mean, he was just one that I was like, I just kind of see it getting better more than worse unless he gets hurt. I mean,
Yeah.
his statistics weren't that crazy good, but it was like he still finished it in the top 10, and it didn't seem like he did all that much. And he was pretty damn inefficient too. Like average 4.3 a carry. I mean, maybe that gets up to 4.6, 4.7. Maybe that gets him up to
Yeah.
the 1,200 yards rushing. Maybe he don't score 6 rushing touchdowns. He scores 10 rushing touchdowns. He's gonna get some receiving touchdowns too.
He sure is. Yeah, I mean, you got to be high on Chase Brown. Uh,
I was surprised though. I really thought you'd be like Chase Brown at 5.
I mean, if you think about it, when you put these out there and you have Cook and Chase Brown at 4 and 5, somebody gonna have something to say about that, Kraft. I feel
But
like I ain't.
who do you put there? You could put any of them guys we talked about at 5.
Oh man, I'm with you. That's why I'm saying. That's why I feel like when I look at these guys, honestly I feel like your top 5 is good, and then I feel like after that it's more controversial. You know what I'm
You
saying?
think
Like,
Chase Brown belongs in the tier with McCaffrey and Cook? Are you willing to put him
yeah,
in the tier with that?
man, what
So you
with
even higher on Brown
ease?
than man. Okay.
I mean, and then I think Hampton's a wild card, but I think when you think of Hampton, you just think of him, Jim Harbaugh, and just what their style of play is going to be in volume.
Now he could
Ah,
finish it. He could finish at number 2
yeah,
if it all works out. But he could also just maybe Kamani Vidal is still involved or something, and But their offensive line was so beat up last year, and then they
Yeah.
get Joe Alt back, and their offensive line and Rashawn Slater got hurt before the year too, so their offensive line should be like top 5 in the league
Yeah.
if they're
So
healthy.
definitely be high on Hampton again. So
Hampton should
yeah.
score a shit ton of touchdowns. That's where I'm at with him. Like he could have a Derrick Henry type season where it's 18 rushing touchdowns is where I see the peak for Hampton, and he can still catch the ball out of the backfield. And the offense is just, you can't really say nothing negative about the offense.
I seen a picture of Hampton recently. That Joker's jacked right now, dude.
He's huge. When we did our rookie stuff, I said he's built like Jonathan Taylor. He looks just like him.
He really is. JT, he's one where I'm down on this year, but I say it every year, so don't even think about
We're both
counting what I gotta say.
A lot lower. I got him so that would be 6, 7, 8, 9. I got him at 9, and most of the drafts he's going at like the 107 in the ADP on Sleeper. So, but ain't you a little bit worried? You got to be a little bit worried about Daniel Jones coming back and that offense being as explosive as it was at the beginning of last year.
Yeah, I agree. The dude come off an Achilles tear.
Yeah, and it's Daniel Jones. It's not Patrick Mahomes coming off.
Yeah, man, I agree. They was flying high last year. Now I'm glad Daniel Jones is going back to the Colts. I'm good with everything, but it's just like that man just tore his Achilles. It ain't gonna be the same. Plus, you know how it is. I kind of say stuff too. Like people are gonna figure that out a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Like they was just going crazy last year for a little while. Then eventually people are gonna figure out a little bit, and then that's when they adjust after that. So I don't know. I don't know. I've been doubting JT for so long. I just probably shouldn't even put this on the pod. Might even go edit it out real quick.
There's players that I just don't need to even be talking about anymore. Jonathan Taylor's one of yours, and I don't know. There's just a couple of mine that I'm wrong about every single year that I just need to stay away from. But you done mentioned some stuff about Kenneth Walker a couple times. Do you have him in this tier? Or are you going to drop him down?
I'd drop him below. Who you got at 13 and 14? Did you go that far?
Kyron is next.
That's what I'm saying. I'd take Kyron over Kenneth Walker. Who's next?
Jeremiah Love.
I'd take Love over Kenneth Walker. Who's next?
Jacobs.
I'll take Jacobs over Kenneth Walker. I think Kenneth Walker's the ultimate sell high right now. That dude got that good news, that contract. What's his name?
Is there a reason? Is it just do you think the Chiefs running back they're going to be passing in the red zone, or is it the health? Kenneth Walker just?
I think it's a combination of it all. Right here, we got him in the top 10. What's all his finishes? He had what's his name cutting into his work.
Team. And the Chiefs. My pushback for you on Kenneth Walker is just the fact that the Chiefs haven't had a running back worth note since Kareem Hunt in his early years.
You better stop hating on Pacheco, bro. Quit hating on that man, bro.
Pacheco was fine. And
I'm just kidding.
He had some decent finishes in fantasy, so that tells me when I look at the Chiefs, they didn't do anything on offense. They're still going to be that dink and dunk, try to run the football type offense because they didn't add anybody in the draft. The only thing that makes them a explosive offense is if Xavier Worthy just turns into God, because Rashee Rice is going to do his role. Kelsey's going to be less Kelsey, and they're just going to be dink and duck and running the football.
I just think Kansas City going to be trash. How about that? They're going to be garbage. They living in the past. And ain't Mahomes going to be out for a little while? He was hurt too. Is he coming back fully healthy from the jump? Not fully healthy, but is he starting the year off? Didn't he get hurt?
Yeah, ACL injury, but
he'll be back then.
He's saying he should be back, but I don't. I think they'll probably my guess is he misses first 4 weeks, but
yeah, heck, he'll probably be back. I'm just being real. That dude Patrick Mahomes could be back on the ACL. I feel like.
I can't really argue about what Walker's done in the past, but I just kind of think that I don't know. I just got him in that same tier as these other guys, because I do think that Kansas City has been lacking a good running back for a while now.
Yeah, that's true. But I mean, are they going? He's going to be the bell cow now and give us a top 10 finish. You
There's
know what
no
I'm saying?
backups over there. You got Emmett Johnson and Rashard Smith.
That's true. And Kareem Hunt going to be there still?
And who's the best pass catcher? Yeah, Kareem Hunt may, but who's the best pass catcher out of them running backs too? I mean, Rashard Smith is probably he specializes in that, I guess. But Kenneth Walker should catch a lot of passes too. That's what puts him up there for me too. Is the Chiefs always dump down to the running backs, and
Yeah.
Pacheco wasn't he can't catch. Like
Nah.
he's not a pass catcher running back.
Pacheco's a 7th round guy. Kenneth Walker, he's a 1st round guy.
You seen Jarrett McKinnon finish in the top 12. I know you don't remember that, but he did.
Yeah, but he probably only had like 2 good games.
Just like a pass, just catching passes.
But yeah, I mean, I just feel down on him. I feel like you got to be high on some people. Feel down on him. Like I've been a Kenneth Walker guy every year. You know what I'm saying? But now it's like, okay, now he's with the Chiefs. I think we overvalue him a little bit. If I was in Dynasty, I'd tear down. I'd sell high and tear down from him a little bit.
Well, at least it seems like to you that, like I said at the beginning of the episode, like if you draft in the front of the draft, you can get, your Gibbs, your Bijan, or you can get your Puka, Jamar Chase in the first 4 picks. You can come back and you'll end up, and you just added more players to that tier in your rankings. You just added ETN in there and Kyron.
Yeah.
So you're most likely, all them players you wrote down on your list, you're going to end up with one of them guys coming back to you.
Boy, goddamn, won't be stuck. Man, golly, Average Joe's mind this year, bro.
And I ain't big on picking in the front, but this year it seems like it might be the move. I don't want to pick number 1.
Yeah.
If I can pick like number 4, because in a redraft so far, it's like Gibbs, Bijan, Chase, Puka. I'm fine with all 4 of them.
Yeah, same.
And then at 5, then it becomes a question with McCaffrey and
JSN,
Amon-Ra. There's but you you put Amon-Ra up there too. So maybe your spot might be number 5. Maybe you want to be number 5.
And I fucks with Amon-Ra.
Hell yeah,
super consistent.
If you want somebody who's gonna finish at wide receiver 3
every year, hey, he's getting some respect this year from what I'm seeing though. Took a long time.
We'll see when redraft comes around. He'll still go in the back of the first.
Yeah, somehow. I agree with that.
Somehow or another. But I'll give you the rest of mine. I ain't got a whole bunch more. But so I said in my next year was going to be Kyron, Jeremiah Love, Josh Jacobs. They're in a tier of their own for me.
Yeah.
And then the tier after that, Javonte Williams. I had Travis Etienne, who you're going to end up having higher than me unless Kamara leaves, and I'll have to rethink my rankings. And then Scatterbo after Etienne. Cam Scatterbo. So this is the same tier. So it's Javonte, Etienne, Scatterbo, and Breece Hall.
Yeah.
Breece is tough, though.
Man, why did Breece Hall re-sign with them guys, man? What's up with these motherfuckers, man? I just want to say real quick about this little tier. I think Kyron, I think people are kind of – I know Blake Corum came in some. I think Kyron will be just fine. But Jeremiah Love, I feel like I said it last episode, I feel like he's more appropriately priced where you ain't got to do nothing crazy to go get him. And Josh Jacobs, I would have no fear with Josh Jacobs, y'all. I know I feel like a lot of people – he's going to be up higher, and I know people might be thinking he might get suspended, and I'm just here to tell you, have no fear. He will not get suspended. They ain't going to do nothing to this man. All these guys get away with everything.
If he did anything.
If he did anything, and if he did, it'll be the next year. You know what I'm saying? So,
do you think Jacobs belongs? I mean, as long as he don't get any kind of repercussions, do you think he belongs in that Achane and Kenneth Walker, Jonathan Taylor tier? Do you think he?
Yeah,
after that,
I'd take Jacobs over JT and Kenneth Walker.
Man, that tier for you is like 12 deep.
Maybe even Henry. I would take him over Henry too. Whew. Yes, sir. I have no fear of Josh Jacobs. Give him to me. I'm hoping
He should go off this year. I mean, they ain't got no backup running back. So
Yeah.
you don't want to mention Marshawn Lloyd on the
Yeah, I was about to
podcast.
say, what was that guy's name? I
You
forgot about it.
You say his name like 3 times, like the lights go off and like Bloody Mary shows up.
That dude's a bum. He's like the Kendra Miller of Green Bay.
He really is. That's exactly what he is. And
What's
you got
it?
Brooks or something. But what do you think about Scatabo?
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I think Scatterbo. Listen, he just had a terrible injury. That's
He's
really
healthy
his
now.
thing.
I think he's going to be healthy week 1 all the way. They
Yeah,
still
man.
got Tyrone Tracy. I think they re-signed Devin Singletary.
I'd take a little risk on Scatterboo, but I think like in Average Joe's where we play, I think I will not be able to get him. But I think in other places where maybe there might be a little fear of Scatterboo, I think I'll take a shot on him. I mean, you got him 18, you got him at least, yeah, like you got him 18. Like there's probably a few names you know.
You
Well,
take him
I
over.
mean, you'd probably have him right, honestly, Kraft. To be
You take him
honest.
over Javonte or Jeremiah Love.
Yeah, I think I might would. I mean, if they're saying he's fully healthy, I really don't see why not. I mean, golly, man. I had Scatterboo on my team in redraft last year. It's just crazy, man.
You
I'm
like him over?
devastated.
You still like him over Brees?
Yeah, man, look, man, I know I had some positive things to say about Brees, but it was like more of a buy low situation. But it's just like, man, the Jets, bro, I don't know, man. I feel like the Jets could be good. Like Chris said something about it last episode. They are building around, like they're putting all these players out there in these
Rookies.
spots. Yeah,
Rookies.
rookies. So but they got Brees locked up and got Garrett Wilson locked up. So it's like that team could be good later, but man, I ain't really high on Brees like that. It's hard to be.
If Omar Cooper and Kenyon Sadiq don't pan out, they're gonna be in the same spot they were in
Yeah, I know.
a year ago.
I know. Which they probably won't because that organization's trash,
They
bro.
probably won't. And Sadiq, he's a crazy athlete, but his college production wasn't up there.
Yeah,
So
I agree.
he's kind of like that too. But I only got a couple more that I ranked. You can tell me if you think Brees belongs below any of these guys, but I got Bucky next in the next tier. So I got Brees finishing off that tier, and then I got Bucky. I'm a believer in Kenneth Gainwell, man. I really think that backfield's 50-50.
Yeah, I mean
And
Kenneth Gainwell, he ain't no scrub now. So
they paid him. They paid him
yeah,
a good amount of money too. I just it's hard to think that Bucky's gonna get anything more than 60% of the work.
yeah. I think I'm with you, Kraft, man. That was tough though. You can
Bucky over
convince me.
Brees? Brees or Bucky?
I think I'd take. Uh, well, I don't know, bro. I don't know. I think I'd take Bucky over Brees today, but you could probably convince me the other way. I mean, I think Brees talent wise is better than half these names we're saying, but
What about Bucky over Scatabo or Javante? No. No.
I'm with you. I wouldn't do that. I definitely take old Scatterboo. Javante too. He's locked down for 3 years too, so he's part of Cowboys' plans coming into this year, ready to ball out.
So Brees is the only one that maybe you would jump him over.
Man, I just can't feel good about Brees right now. Can't feel good about none of them guys.
Then the next two I got ranked, next three, and that's where I stopped, was Bucky. These are the same tier. Bucky, Travion Henderson, DeAndre Swift, and Tootin. So where does that put Tootin for me? I don't have numbers. Is that like 20?
Tootin's at like 23, and you got Swift at 22, Travion at 21. My thing about Travion is he's probably more explosive. Like he's more hit or miss on these things, but they're going to give the ball to Ramondre Stevenson still. He's definitely part of the game plan. So, I like Henderson. I think he's talented, but
You going to put him ahead of any of them other guys?
I mean, if you was giving him the full workload without Ramondre, I'd put him right behind Chase Brown. But I know that ain't gonna happen.
You could make the argument, and this is kind of, I don't think it's that far fetched. You can make the argument that Travion and Jeremiah Love had the same role.
Yeah.
But Jeremiah Love got drafted number 3. But
Yeah.
you got Algier over there, but it's a bad offense. And then you got Travion over there, and he's on a great offense. But he might not be the talent of Jeremiah Love, but he's still playing for a much better team. And he might have a little bit lesser of a role than Jeremiah Love will have, but the production could be very similar. Jeremiah Love's the toughest one for me because I kind of feel like it could be much lower than I even have him.
Yeah.
When I look at like Travion and Swift and like Brees Hall and guys like this down here, it's like Brees, what is really the difference between Brees and Jeremiah Love? I don't know if there's that much of a difference. They're both talented. They both play for bad offenses.
Yeah. Yeah, I
They're both
know we
going to
could
catch a
be.
lot of passes.
Yeah. We could be seeing. I think Jeremiah Love's better than Brees, but yeah, I'm with you though. We could be seeing the same thing. And Arizona, man, what were they doing? What are they doing, bro? Tootin at 23. The one thing I'll say about Tootin is I was kind of feeling Tootin. I even thought about trading for him some, but what's his name? Chris Rodriguez comes in. That joker gonna be scoring some touchdowns. And I just read yesterday that the Jaguars were about to get Dobbins before Dobbins decided to come back to Denver. So it's like I think maybe Tootin, he is good. Heck, when I watched him play, he played good, but maybe he has a little few doubters in Jacksonville. So, but still, 23. Like, what the fuck am I saying? Swift will be solid too.
There's just when I do my rankings, I like when I actually start writing them down after I do everything. I'll put like a star next to somebody of like somebody I really want, or just like a minus symbol next to somebody of guys that like I'm just not gonna get. And Jeremiah Love's probably gonna have that minus symbol next to him because it's just like I feel like there's no way he's gonna make it where I have him ranked for one. And I don't know if I'm even gonna pull the trigger if it gets to that point. Like I got him ranked one spot ahead of Kyron, or maybe no, one spot below Kyron. And I'm like, there's just that might be a place where
Yeah,
I'm taking receivers at if it gets to Jeremiah Love. I might just end up be drafting receivers at that point.
I agree. And I'm thinking I like Jacobs and ETN and maybe Scattaboo over Jeremiah Love in this rookie year, anyways, you know.
But the potential's definitely way up there
Yeah.
when you look at the amount of work he could possibly get. But
He's buttoned up too. I like the way he talks and stuff. He ain't like some players you could just tell are buttoned up. Some players are just idiots. He don't fall in that idiot category for me yet. So
but Algier's going to score a lot of touchdowns. I mean, that's really they're not going to. That's the thing that kind of has me worried about him is the fact that the Cardinals aren't going to score a whole lot of touchdowns, and Algier's going to score a decent bit of them if they're rushing them in.
they
How many
tanking,
touchdowns
bro.
can you actually give them? You
They
know,
they tanking for. I wouldn't be high on really none of these guys. None of them Cardinals except for McBride. And
we'll have to have a talk about McBride too if Brissett ain't the quarterback. But
yeah, I agree, man. I agree with that because McBride's really my dynasty tight end one, and but
if it's Carson Beck,
yeah, I don't know. I don't like it
if
the
it's Gardner
same.
Minshew,
Man, well, shoot, man. Let's wrap it on up, crap, man. We done gave them some running back stuff for people to at least think about in mid-June. You know what I mean? But so everybody out there, share the show. Thanks for listening to the podcast. Thanks for bearing with us. Sorry for the wait. You know what I'm saying? Me and Crabman have been busy. We couldn't podcast as much as we like to. And I mean, this is like a hobby for us. Some people, it's a job. One day, me and Craftman we'll lock it down as a full-time job, and we'll give y'all the best and the most content ever in the world. But today, it's not that day. But thank y'all for bearing with us and listening to us, and just share the show, Craftman. Anything you want to add?
nah, man, just appreciate everybody for listening. And if you're going to do your RB rankings, I'd like to, hit Matt up on Twitter and share what you think them rankings should be in that, especially in that large tier of 8 to 12 running backs.
Comment on that YouTube too. Check us out on our YouTube page. Yeah, check us out everywhere. We everywhere. We on YouTube too. If you comment on YouTube though, we can get back to you real quick. So, but yeah. All right. Well, shoot, man. That about sums it all up for today. So with that said, we are out.
Peace.